Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Chasing the Whimsy. I'm your host Ben, and I am with
Megan.
Hello, how you doing, Megan?
Actually, great. Came back from the second panel for Fan Fusion this year.
Right. This episode is gonna get this is gonna be gross. Kelly's gonna hate it. We are buddy buddy.
Yeah, this rarely ever happens. We've already shown signs of getting along.
Oh man, we'll get into all of it, but coming off of one panel, we were feeling pretty good, and then today's panel was just
Yeah, we were feeling ourselves a little bit the first day, and now we're just like, wow, we're so great. Aren't we great?
So this weekend was Fan Fusion 2025. I started the journey early. I had Courtney drive me up. We got there right at 8:00.
Crazy time to be at a con, by the way.
Oh my god! Well, what was funny was we got there at 8. The doors don't open until 8:30, and then none of the other doors open until 10:30. But there was already a group of people. Part of the idea was, if we get there early enough, we can get all of the B-roll. We can shoot a bunch of time lapse. We can investigate where everything's at and kind of just get a lay of the land, since that was going to be our home for 3 days.
And it's a lot less busy on Fridays and Sundays.
Right.
So I guess Friday at 8 a.m. is the best you're going to get for being able to walk around freely. Because I remember Saturday last year and we were kind of like sardines.
It was even worse. The website said that they were sold out and only had a few limited Friday and Sunday. So somehow they were completely sold out for all of Saturday.
Not surprised.
Which would mean last year they had about 55,000 across 3 days. So if they sold out, I'm assuming that means close to 70?
Probably.
There were so many people. It was crazy. It was so much fun. But Courtney and I kind of got there. We recorded, trying to do some time-lapse stuff. We went and saw Ming Chen right at 10:30, 11 o'clock.
They lived a whole life before I got out of bed.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah, a lot of it was just trying to figure out where everything was. And me, I was kind of in my mind's eye trying to figure out some of the different angles and some of the things I was trying to maybe accomplish. The idea of the time-lapse was really kind of fun to me, but what I didn't notice is on my time lapse, there's a every 1 second it jumped. So now it was super fast. So I'm all right, so I'll go down to 3 second and a 5 second. And I eventually think the 5 second ended up looking pretty good. But then I had my camera on the selfie stick. So I'm kind of walking and then I'm trying to hold it up a little bit. So I'm not staring at the back of some guy's head. So some of the angles were all
You could actually
up.
see something.
Oh man. I looked at some of the day one stuff and I'm I don't know what the hell I was doing. There's a bunch of stuff to record. I have way more video than I'll know what to do with. There's it crashed one computer. We'll get to that on Saturday, but so much stuff. I did look through some of it. It was really fun. Ming Chen was there. Super excited to see us.
Oh, he was this is my first time meeting him.
Yes.
So
you were all nervous.
Yeah, dude. No, Ben's come on, let's go meet Ming. I'm don't say, well, let's go meet Ming, bro. Chill out. I'm just gonna wait over here. I tried to escape to go get soda for Kelly, but they were still talking to Ming Chen. But he was so nice, and he seems like a really genuine guy. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't as intimidating as I thought, but
yeah, it was fun. When they opened the doors at 10:30, hall 2, which is the big. So they have on the one side of the room there is all your artists, all your comic book artists, and then in the middle for a bunch of shit, all your merch, t-shirts, jewelry, stickers, dice.
The craziest stuff that you've ever seen. Some of it homemade, some of it corporate. It's all insane and intense for every fandom that you can possibly imagine.
So there's 15 rows, and
yes,
and then each row there's a left and a right side. Easy 30 on each one.
Yeah,
each row
easily.
So was that 400? There's 400, 500 vendors just hanging out selling some similar stuff. All the shirt people seem to be in one area, and all the jewelry people ish, and then your artists, authors sometimes in the back area. But when it opened, Courtney and I, after we talked to Ming, we walked the perimeter just to record a little bit. We got about 11 minutes of that just to kind of tease people a little bit, kind of give a scope of this is the perimeter. There's so much more stuff on the inside.
Yeah, it honestly, it feels like it's bigger on the inside because you look and you're like, okay, 15 rows, easy peasy. And once you're into it and trying to get back to anything when you remember it, you're like, I really do want to go buy those earrings. Where are they?
They have the signs up top that labeled 100 to 1500.
Yeah, but if you don't remember to check it when you are like putting a pin in something, you're screwed. We're trying to find some ducks that Sophie saw on the first day, and we were completely lost.
Because each row of hundreds, I wish they would have gridded it and they had a different like A, B, C for all the left and rights instead of the up and downs. Because Corey and I walked around. We did a bunch of stuff, and then like noonish, 12:30ish, you guys arrived. We got upstairs, looked where we were at. We went and got some snacks, some water, and like 1 o'clock rolls around. Boom, we walk inside.
Yeah, let's point out, Kelly was so nervous. And for those of you who didn't come see our panel, Kelly wasn't in the panel. It was just us. But she was like making me nervous because she was so nervous about it. And I was like, I think we got it. And she's like, oh, but your notes and this and that, and don't forget about this. I'm like, okay, you're making me nervous.
Right. Well, what was interesting was I think we both kind of made a comment of like 1 o'clock. We're like, what are we going to do if there's only 4 people here? Courtney, Kelly, and one other person.
We were going to wrangle that person into the front row no matter what they did.
What happens by like 1:05? What was going on? Like people start walking in.
Yeah, but there was literally people coming in while we were setting up. It was like not a push and shove match, but there was people already coming in.
Like,
there were people coming in a little bit after we started.
Like the first couple people walked in, I'm like, "Are you in the right place?"
Like, oh man, maybe they like were the last panel or something.
Right? Like maybe we were doing some kind of quiz or something. So by like 11:15, I put up like a pre-show, the Bender video and some of the clips just to kind of play. And as people were sitting down, I was handing out postcards, shaking hands. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. And then testing the mics a little bit. Sophie comes up and hangs out for a minute too.
She loves it. She loves being on stage.
She does. And then like 1:30 hits, and there's like, I mean, I can get the camera and check, but there had been like 40 to 50 people.
Yeah, it was so many more people than I thought, and it was a great crowd. Thing is that I thought it would be a lot, if there was a lot of people, some of them would be disinterested, but everybody was so interested. Everyone had great questions and input, and people wanted to participate, which we were like having contingencies in case I had notes in case nobody wanted to participate on like what to say to try like drive the engagement.
Right.
It was fine. Everybody had something to say and had like interesting ideas for their podcasts or stories about why they didn't or did not do it.
The test run, we were like, all right, we're good for 45 minutes, and that's with a little bit of engagement, so we should be okay. But we were trying to think like, how do we like fill the last 20 minutes? We had no problem with that.
We literally almost ran up to the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, and then almost got kicked out because the next panelists were, I'm not going to say rude because they were very aggressive. They had 30 minutes to set up. And the moment ours ended, the dude slammed his stuff on the table next to me over my stuff, and he was like, yeah, we're the next panel. I'm like, dude, you need to chill just a little bit. Right? We just got done with our panel. People are talking to us up here. Do you know what panel it was? It was some kind of like some kind of quiz show thing.
And it was like anime spelling bee or something.
Oh yeah, spelling bee. Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm like, these guys are getting crazy.
But like, oh yeah, we need to set up. I'm like, yeah, I get it, man. But like, people were talking to us, and he like put his stuff on top of my notes. I'm like, dude, chill.
So the first panel from Friday was podcasting as a superpower. Um, we've recorded a couple episodes a couple of weeks ago, but the idea of trying to get people interested in podcasting, be like, hey,
Right.
anybody can do it. 9-year-old can do it. Anybody. The superpower is just get in front of a mic, and then like magic will happen.
Right, getting your friends into it, feeding creativity across the board with people you know.
Right. What was your favorite part about that first panel?
I think just like the people in the audience, I loved hearing about their ideas for their podcast, and they always seem so passionate about it. And I was like, dude, just record anything. Record something on like an old cassette and throw it into a lake, and nobody's ever gonna read it. But just try something, because everything that they mentioned sounded so cool and unique. Like, that was my biggest fear when you're always like, Megan, you should start a podcast. I'm like, I have no original ideas. These people all had original ideas, and I would love to hear their podcasts.
It was fun that they with these as much engagement and how fast they answered those questions in the beginning.
Right.
They flat out wanted podcasts. They just don't know how. And
Yeah, they're on the barrier right now, and they just need to push through, because they know what they want. They know the name of their podcast. They have
who's
people
doing
they
it,
want
right?
Involved with it.
They're already working out like so much.
You're jumping over all the hurdles you're making, and I believe in you.
Like so much that they're like, we already know that there's a conflicting problem. There's a time difference. I'm like, well, you already like
You're already getting there. You're getting there.
Like you've already identified, and then you just have to kind of just get over that and kind of make it work a little bit. We gave some really good suggestions too, as far as like my thing. I didn't want to be like too like heavy-handed with it, where a lot of people are like, it's a commitment issue. Like, how do like I don't know have time. I'm like, we are all really busy.
Everyone's busy, yeah.
But I promise you can find half an hour, like
Well, yeah,
somewhere in the week.
We end up recording most of the time, just like once a week, after Sophie goes to bed, or even when she's up, and that's it.
It's like I like the idea of every time they came up with an excuse, find something else. It's like
you could see it in their faces sometimes. They were like, you know what, maybe I can just do this.
Right. Well, and because a couple of people were like, with the commitment thing, they're like, or I don't know how, I don't always have time. Bi-weekly, once a month.
Yeah, once a month. Literally once a month. And we know that there are so many fiction podcasts that I follow, and almost every single one of those fiction podcasts comes out like once a month or once every 2 weeks. I've not seen like a weekly one in a long time.
Even, I mean, okay, to be fair, Serial went weekly, but they spent months putting all that stuff together.
Yeah.
So, like, it's the idea of, like, take months, take a couple of weeks, record them, and then schedule them out. Like, if you're worried about that consistency aspect of it. But yeah, a lot of really fun engagement. They love, like, I think what stole the show was Sophie kept coming up literally probably every 10 minutes.
Right.
Kissing me on the arm, and then run away.
She said hi a couple times. It's cute to see her get, like, more comfortable in front of people.
The idea that, like, they see a 5-year-old being like, hey, she's willing to go up there and just, like...
She's on the podcast. I mean, she doesn't know any better what recording means, but...
But she's not as shy as anybody, like everybody else was.
Well, and then we mentioned JJ all the time, and he's, like, 10.
That kid was amazing. Overall, panel went really good. I posted that episode as 117A. Some people have already heard it. Mom said she absolutely like enjoyed it. She liked the engagement aspect. Shout out to Courtney for the crowd whimsy at the end.
Oh yeah,
like it's so obvious,
right?
And then I'm like, I completely just fucked. I'm like, I don't know. But it was so cool to hear 40 people yelling whimsy at the same time.
Yeah, huge whimsy was so cool, and listening to it back on the mic was so great.
Like they knew us for an hour, and at the end of the hour, they bought into it and be like, all right, let's have some fun. And
Yeah, whimsy, man.
So, panel 1, we're flying high. You're congratulating me. I'm
Yeah, we're
congratulating.
like, it went so well. Everything was great.
No, I think you were the best. We're complimenting each other's lines. Like, oh, that was a good line.
That was a great point. Wow. We're just, and Kelly's literally just throwing up in the background.
After that, we went and got some food. Got the pizza.
Yeah, a hot honey pizza. It was actually so good.
I wouldn't have thought putting honey on a pizza, but man, it was delicious.
It was amazing. They were personal pan size pizzas, but bigger than your like Pizza Hut personal pan. But bro, $18 a piece.
Oh man, the only two problems that I would have with an econ is parking and food pricing. Like, it is outrageous.
Yeah, $60 for parking, and then all the food was about the same price though. You weren't gonna like get out of there with like a $10.
Right? There's no kid menu anywhere, so now you got the kid's gonna eat a $20 burger. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, we ran into that last time where we were trying to get Sophie something to eat, and it was all just like, here's a $20 cheeseburger,
right?
Or even just kid-friendly food like
right?
chicken nuggets or something.
Right. Yeah, we got a Duke burger or like
because it was that was what it was. It was all like truffle burger and this stuff and that stuff, and there was no plain options. I'm like, she's 5, she doesn't want a truffle burger or And let's get it real straight here, Whimsy fans. Ben is 5 when it comes to what he's about to eat.
Right. I'm like, I just won't eat today. For a con that you would hope would be ish kid friendly, like a little bit more kid friendly, would have more kid friendly options.
And then they do have such kid friendly stuff in the other building. There's like Legos, arts and crafts, carnivals, like little sword fights, and there's so much cool kid stuff, but just nothing for them really to.
Like, where's the kitchen that's doing grilled cheeses and French fries?
Right, there's even like a quiet room.
Yeah.
In way down at the end of that con suite where it's just a room where kids can go to like relax and be quiet.
Right.
But no chicken fingers or grilled cheese or mac and cheese or something like that.
Because like charge me $12-15 for a grilled cheese, chicken nuggets, and fries, because I know my kid's gonna eat it.
Right, and we gotta feed him something. You gotta make money. We get it. But
yeah, it does seem a little weird, but it is what it is, I suppose.
And no, it is not what it is. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit here because a great crime was put out against me when today my Skittles were ripped from my bag by security.
Your contraband Skittles?
My horrible Skittles, and it was a pretty full share-size bag of Skittles, and they were like, yeah, sorry, we're gonna have to take this. And I'm like, but my Skittles. And he's like, yeah, sorry, we can't allow outside food. He stole somebody's McDonald's fries as well and had them in a box, just a box of stolen food. Then I get all the way in there and Kelly's like, oh, he didn't take any of my food. Same security officer. We look the same. We are the same. We're in the same group. She's got animal crackers and Starbursts. But yeah, if you're not allowed to bring your own food in for your kids, you should be able to have something there that they can enjoy. Which she ended up eating like a donut or something, which of course
a $7 donut.
Yeah, which is very, very healthy and well-balanced meal.
Yeah, $5 waters. Like, I get a certain aspect of it, but it's like it borders on like price gouging almost.
Well, and you're like, you got a little bottle of water and it costs you like what, 10 cents or something.
Yeah.
So charge me $1. You've made 10 times what it's worth. There's your price gouging. $5 is insane.
It is, especially with as hot as it is, and knowing that people are there for
literally
8,
like
9, 10 hours.
105 out today.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do with hot water? But then also, the same security guard who stole my Skittles ignored the fact that I held a full bottle of Smart Water.
He's just picking and choosing what he wants to eat for the day.
Yeah, I just brought it in my hands.
But after the panel, we went downstairs. We saw Ming Chen. We walked up and down. You guys did about half of the vendor room.
Well, I think went from 1,500 to 500, so we were making it there.
And that put us at like 6 o'clock ish, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, con time works so strangely.
Yeah. And then we were like, screw it, we're done. We left. Courtney took me home. I don't know about you guys, but the second Courtney dropped me off, she was going to go home, feed the cats, and then she was going to come back and stay the night again so we can leave early the next morning. Because me and her were going to go the whole day Saturday.
Right.
I get home. I start plugging in stuff. I start downloading the video because I'm going to start playing with it. 100% just pass out in my chair. I wake up a couple of times. I wake up at 10:30. I'm like, hey, when are you coming over? I fall asleep. I wake up at like 2 o'clock. I'm like, hey, where are you at? And then she finally gets there at 3. And then I just pass out again. We woke up late and didn't get up until like 9 on Saturday. We had a problem with parking. We found a nice parking spot Friday. We tried to go back again. And they were like, oh, it was sold out. Reserved all month.
We were I think we went to that same place trying to look for parking, and they were like, it's sold out.
Courtney tried to piggyback on the fact that she had the handicap placard because of the motorcycle accident. She was a little ornery about it, and I'm like, well, let's just give the guy a little bit of a hard time. So we got the manager on the phone, and he's talking to us, and
well, there has to be so many handicap spots in there that can't be taken by anybody else.
What was interesting was we did it the day before, and you guys had mentioned something in the car earlier today about it, or something similar. But we said no one's going to take the gate opens, and there's a parking spot literally right there. Like no one, I will never back into that spot in my life. So we know for a fact that spot's going to stay open the whole day. So the guy's like, everything is reserved. I'm like, are the handicap spots reserved? He's like, no, we can't reserve handicap spots. I said, okay, so then it's not 100% sold out. So
right.
So conceptually, that spot will stay open the whole day because you sold every regular spot, but that spot technically doesn't belong to anybody.
Right, and you have the placard, and it's not, you're doing it legit. That spot is being held for somebody who has that placard. Right. That's what the whole point of holding that spot and not letting anyone park there is for somebody who has a placard to park there.
So we gave the guy a hard time a little bit. Courtney obviously played it up a little bit more, but we wasted 10 minutes talking to that guy. We left. We found a spot on the street with the meter, and then it's on the app. So every 2 hours, she just had to go in and just add more money to it.
Yeah.
Somehow that ended up better. It's only $3 every 2 hours.
They have the same thing in Florida while we were by the beach, and my oldest sister, was just putting money on it over and over again. And I was like, that's so handy, because I remember having to run back out and put more money in it and everything like that.
Saturday, Courtney and I focused a lot on meeting different vendors, different artists, and just recording 2-3 minute like intros and just meeting everybody. I put up a couple of them today. Some decent views on the YouTube.
The ones that you didn't film in time lapse?
Yes.
On accident?
Man, I was definitely a learning curve this weekend with the video. What's nice is the camera that I did buy for it with the microphone, the sound quality came out really, really good with it. So thank God for that. But yeah, we talked to a bunch of different artists. We saw David Allen Gordon again, or Gordon Allen Davis.
David Allen Gordon.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we met him originally in Tucson, and I bought his book back then. I bought the sequel this time. What a just terrifically nice guy. He's so sweet.
So we did the whole walk up and down the whole thing again. We did that like probably all day. I ended up getting like 15 different small interviews that I'll eventually put up. But yeah, we just walking up and down having a good time. She's just buying stuff like a crazy person. So
she bought some more stuff today too.
Yeah, she's so funny. We were almost done, and then she's like, "Let's go take a look at the gaming section up on the third floor." So we walk up to the third floor. They had like tabletop gaming, some like trading card games, and
Oh,
then
that's cool. That's kind of like
yeah,
at the other con that we went to where there was like a game room.
yeah. So she ended up looking through hundreds of Pokemon cards, and she ended up spending like an hour and a half up there. But yeah, I mean, very long day. But overall, like very simple. I got mostly everything I wanted. I think everything I really wanted to have recorded. I could have faked the rest of it. But yeah, we had a good time. She dropped me off. I get home and realize like I might have a washer leak or a hot water leak somewhere of some kind. I can't figure out where it was. So I'm like,
I believe we called that a Monday problem.
oh man. So I'm like, so I tried to sweep out the water from behind the washer and figure out what's going on. Nothing seemed leaking. So it's like, well, I'm like, I'm not here to turn anything on. So hopefully nothing else. Like, oh my God, we'll see. But then I came over Saturday night and then realized the main computer I was using completely just like died. Like it just didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, it gave up on whatever he was trying to edit.
It took me like 2 hours to figure out. I finally figured out how to fix it. Took like forever to like move a bunch of stuff around. And I'm like, oh my God, it was weird. But I did get the Friday panel up. So that one people heard. This one they'll hear as 117B, and then the Sunday one will be 117C. So panels on the both sides of this episode. I wasn't, for whatever reason, wasn't as tired Saturday as I was Friday. Friday I got jacked up. Like,
Yeah.
I was a mess.
I think I was like pretty tired afterwards. I revived a little bit with the pizza. I needed something to eat after the panel, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was tired today.
My legs hurt. I lost some weight. like, I'm like, there we go. I'm just happy because like
It's a good way to motivate yourself to a workout is just look at merch endlessly.
Yeah. But I dropped like 6, 7-ish. And then it's one of those where I'm like, all right, I can maintain this and still be happy and then start working. We'll see. I ate semi-responsible. I didn't eat all of my food today for dinner. I left a couple of things on there and eat until I got sick. But this morning, boom, we got up a little bit. We dragged our feet a little bit, but I was editing stuff.
Ben says this every single time. He's passive aggressive way of saying that I don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. to go anywhere.
No, trust me. I was downloading stuff. I was putting up shorts. I was having a good time.
Especially since he knows I was up to like 2 a.m.
Right. So we get going. We head out. Parking, boom, right there. Super easy. I'm like, all right, I got same spot we were last year.
Yeah, it was not as high up as we were on Friday, too, because Kelly and I had, like, to walk up almost to the roof last time. And it doesn't seem that daunting until you're, like, pushing the stroller up.
Yeah.
We didn't want to take the elevator because we couldn't really remember where our car was. So just, like, walking around in circles.
Oh, so we get there. We walk in. They steal your Skittles.
Honestly, heinous. Terrible.
AJ.
Unforgivable.
Parking, inside food, and why you still want Skittles.
What, the bomb Skittles? Like,
Right?
but I can keep the water.
It's not like you were, like, they act like you were going to milk those Skittles the entire day and not
this is gonna
buy.
be real filling to me.
Right? Like you weren't going to end up buying a pretzel and a donut earlier.
And then Kelly's got like a 5-course dinner in her stupid bag, and he's like, "It's okay."
She got a small chicken.
Rotisserie chicken.
You go back and you listen to that panel, dude. I was struggling for the right words. I didn't know
Chat.
I didn't know what any of the words were. When I was talking to people, the vendors, I will pull out any 40-year-old reference like a crazy person. But you ask me something simple, I'm like, bleh. But we get upstairs. The panel today was on the second floor, 221A or C. See,
See, I think.
they had a trivia game going on in there. Was that this today? Yeah, they were doing trivia, anime trivia of some kind. But we did get there early, found out where it was. Very nice, quiet area.
Yeah, Sunday at the con is super quiet in general, and the second floor is always a little bit quieter, mostly because people don't want to have to
Right.
climb the stairs or whatever to get there.
Then we got the donut, your pretzels. We get back up there right before 1. People slowly trickling out. We jump in like 105.
Yeah, there wasn't really that much setup to do,
Just plug in the computer.
but we had so many comeback people
Yeah.
from Friday. I was excited because I was like, I wonder who's gonna come back. And
Shout out Phaedra.
yeah,
There's a Matthew and a Michael. And sorry for everybody else's name I forgot. But
we are both equally terrible at names.
Yeah.
That's totally Kelly's purview.
I took the new camera. I tripoded it, recorded on that because I was curious what the sound quality on that would be. And it had the microphone that went forward and backwards. So conceptually, it would get the back questions better. For the most part, you listened to part of the Friday episode.
You could hear some of the answers pretty
Yeah.
clearly, actually. And I don't know if it's like the people who are closer or
Like left to right, or like
louder.
like I guess the people who were closer to like the solid wall versus like the padded wall.
Right.
It almost seemed like, because some people were like crystal clear, and some people you can kind of hear.
Yeah, there's some people who were like this. And
Yeah.
you barely hear them at all. And I was like, what?
So I got set up. I played the pre-show thing again, chatted a little bit. Worked the crowd a little bit before we started.
I'm sitting there sweating.
Right? It was hot. But...
No, I mean, try to remember facts about StreamYard.
So the podcasting is a superpower. You can relate. You've seen JJ, you've seen your growth, my growth, Liam's growth, Sophie, and this podcasting with family. So
And just talking is my superpower.
You can wrap your head around. Talking is a superpower.
Right. Literally, I can talk about anything.
Now, let's go last week before. How were you feeling about doing podcasting on a budget, knowing that half of the stuff you've never bought or used?
See, I'm kind of like a little bit full of myself. I was like, you know what? I could probably study up on this stuff and be pretty fluent in it. And then, of course, I didn't do that until we were outside the panel room. And I'm
Quick Google.
Googling an article about like StreamYard versus Zoom and the pros and cons of each. And then like Googling a couple things about Riverside. And I'm like, I better remember all of this because this will look really stupid when it comes to my part.
Well, last night, Saturday, you were like, do you have the packet again? I'm like, yeah, I have a new one. And you're just writing notes and you're got like half page of notes. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. And then of course I don't look at my notes really.
I showed you a little bit to kind of give you a visual cue. Because I'm the same way where I don't know exactly what you're doing, but because I can visually see it, I can like fake my way through the rest of it.
And I would jump in on Ben's panel, like little slides, whenever I knew what the information was. And I'd be like, oh yeah, this one's only $99 because Ben told me that last night. And I was like, remember, this one is only this one's a bundle for $300. I better make sure to say that because it'll sound like I know what I'm talking about.
What was your favorite part about this panel?
Once again, like a lot of engagement, more engagement than last time even.
Right? Because we've identified Friday that people have thought about podcasting.
They have the ideas, they have the name, they have the people.
And now we're flat out showing them, here's what you can get to get started.
Literally, what's stopping you? Just record it. And these people even more seemed like they were just ready to record. It was like, one guy said that they already had the equipment, but they just hadn't started yet. Another person said that they had actually recorded an episode, but then they just like never
They got
got
locked.
off the ground.
Yeah.
They were just looking for a reason for somebody to just push them over the
Right.
edge to do what they need to do.
Right. It was interesting. It was funny. I think on 3 different occasions, people were like, "I have this question." I'm like, two sections away,
Yeah,
1 section away,
We will be talking about that.
2 minutes. I'm like, "We'll get you there."
Well, I don't know anything about levels and audio levels and editing and stuff. Don't worry, we got you. Free.
Which would dictate that we wrote a fairly good, like,
And we got a couple good slams because people would be like, yeah, but what does all this cost? And we're like, absolutely free. That's what it costs.
what did I say? Like, I had somewhere towards the end, like I just got like, I got real whimsy on it, and it's like, we got a good laugh. It was a different type of engagement, but I enjoyed it. I liked that people were like very interested to be like, make this easy for me, and I'm like, I promise you it's easy.
And such targeted questions,
Yeah.
too. It wasn't vague or like they were just trying to ask questions to ask questions. They had such specific wants and needs, and I'm glad that we were ready to just be there and answer all the questions.
What's funny, a lot of some marketing stuff, but again, that's all the scam stuff.
Right.
But the number of like audio questions, I'm like, it all works. It really does work itself out. Like,
Literally, it doesn't really do it itself, but it basically will do it itself.
Right.
You just have to guide it and click a few buttons, but it's ready to go once you record.
I showed you the recording today, from today's, and in Audacity, and I'm like, here are the 4 steps that I do. It was a select all, 4 different drop downs, and the only thing that took 20 minutes was it updating all of the different levels, because we normalize it, we compress it, we amplify it, and then we save it. And it's like all of that just takes like 15 or 20 minutes. Like, it was super easy.
Yeah, super easy, and a lot of people were worried about the overall time commitment, and I was like, dude,
If I could have got the thing to download on Riverside, it would have been done in 8 minutes. Like,
oh, and people were pretty impressed with the Spotify thing and how easy it was to add to your podcast. It was like, we were like, yep, you press this button to add a new podcast, you write down your information, your description, and you're pretty much done, dude. That's it. That's it. You're done. You can now record and then drag and drop it to Spotify.
there were 3 slides. One says, start a podcast. And you're like, duh.
Yeah, you click that one. You're good.
Fill out the name. And then a piece of art. And you're like, that's it. And they're like, it can't be that easy. And they're like, well, what about these? I'm like, I don't care about the other ones.
Right.
Like, and then one guy was like, he asked like, well, Bean Sprout or whatever Sprout one.
Podbean.
Yeah, Podbean. Lets you connect to other sites like iHeartRadio or Spotify, Apple. And I'm like, same thing. I'm like,
You put a URL in and you're done.
and he's for a second he's like, oh well. My favorite part was like, I will only use Spotify from now on. Like, I don't care about any of these other people.
Yeah, Spotify makes it too easy. I didn't want to make anyone feel discouraged, but when they were talking about getting monetized, and you're like, well, it takes a lot to get monetized. Everyone kind of looked like, oh no. And I was like, well, that's why it's free, right? Because if they were paying everybody who was on there who made a free podcast, people would just make podcasts by the thousands to get a cent each, and just like a pod farm.
And it's the one trap it's the same trap that Liam had when he was 10, the same one that JJ has. It's, if I put myself on the internet, I'll make a bunch of money. And it's like, you're not going to. Like, don't podcast for money.
Right. And then also, you can, but it's going to take time.
Right.
If even the people who do make money, they didn't make money in year 1 or year 2 or year 3. They kept at it without the incentive of, I'm going to be a billionaire when I do this. The whole point is, and if you're, like I talked a little bit about with the girl with the Transformers podcast, if you're doing it for money, then you're not going to enjoy it.
Right.
You're not playing to your passions, and people are going to tell that you're not interested in this, and it's going to reflect badly back on you.
I don't even look at the monetized earnings anymore on YouTube. Like it's not a lot, and I don't, right now I don't do it because of it.
Right, and it's great to be monetized, and there's nothing wrong with making money or doing that, or in wanting to be a podcaster full time, but your full focus should be on, I just really want to tell a story. I really just really want to hang out with my friends or whatever it is, or really want people to stay informed on the news. That should be your like number one, and making money should probably be way below that.
Well, and like the other side of it is most content creators still have a Patreon. Like they'll still make some money on the monetized stuff, but at the end of the day, it's the people that will sign up monthly. Like sure, you can get some money per view, but the real sustainable money is the subscription money.
Yeah, that would people are like, because if somebody likes your content that much and they're willing to contribute,
Then you know that's an engaged dollar.
yeah, engaged dollar, and it's not going anywhere.
Right. And they're clearly following you for a reason. Like so, the monetize. You know, I felt bad. I'm like, hey, it's cool to be able to hit those thresholds, but yeah, you can't podcast for the money yet. Like,
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're an artist, you want to be like, oh, well, I'm going to become like Van Gogh.
right,
Which she probably died penniless, but
right,
you know what I mean? Like, everybody can't sing and want to be a rock star. You have to sing because you like singing.
Right.
And maybe someday you can sing professionally, but you have to start with what you're good at and honing your skills, especially.
Well, it's interesting. It's the idea of like, we're going to podcast on a budget, but how do I make a bunch of money at the same time? Well, you got to put a bunch of money into it at a certain point to whatever it is that your podcast is. You'll eventually have to invest a little bit more into it. But I'm not like, hey, spend $100 and you need to be monetized and you're going to get your money back tomorrow. But everybody was pretty open to the idea of, and like, all right, it's like, I think they slowly got like, you could monetize, but don't do it for that. So
Right. And I think that, you know, because we've talked about, oh, this recorder is $40 and this kit is like $300. But when we were like, basically, after you get your recording stuff, you're kind of done.
right.
Because they're like, oh no, $300 already. No, $300 and that's what you need.
Right. And
But
you don't even need that.
you don't even need that. Stay with 40. Stay with 55, 90.
Just record it on your
Whatever
computer.
it is. Record it on your phone if you want to. Like but that's the recorder part is the buy-in, and everything else is basically just guided free stuff.
I think what's interesting is a lot of people, I would assume, as they've been researching the idea of starting a podcast and YouTube, how do I start a podcast? The same problem that I ran into early on was you have to have a good camera, you have to have a good mic, you have to have all this good like lighting, you have to have all like, you don't. I'm like, I promise you don't. I sit behind a wrinkly fucking backdrop, like, live in it, man. Let's have a good time.
Yeah, literally, if you're going to spend every day out there with the little steamer
Right.
on your backdrop, or you know, getting the lighting just right, you're never going to create anything. You're going to stuff yourself up too much thinking about the details and miss the forest for the trees because you're just sitting there going, well, if it's not perfect, I can't record. You can record, just do it.
Well, and they all have jobs and they're
Right.
worried about commitment. So it's like, if you're gonna go full time with it, then yeah, let's invest in it, because now you're
Do a
investing in yourself.
studio,
Right.
do like the muffling panel things and stuff like that.
The egg crates. But right now we're just talking about doing it on a budget and just first start a podcast. If you were like, I love this and I want to do it full time, absolutely. Then do whatever you want to do after that. But technically you haven't even recorded yet.
Yeah, if you make 7 episodes and you get tired of it, what did you spend? $50 on a
Right.
hand recorder? You know what? It is what it is. You've
Right.
spent that much on, you know, like coffee or whatever for a week.
Yeah. And then you sell the recorder whenever you come back.
Yeah, once you have a better idea or new idea.
We got the whimsy again at the end of the panel, which was totally cool.
Yeah, but the cooler part was everybody coming up to us. We
Yes.
got kind of got mobbed at the table. And there
We were
was,
the last panel for the day.
Yep.
So there's nobody coming in kicking us out.
yeah, and everybody wanted to talk to us. Everybody had questions.
We had like 15 people, 12 people come up.
Waiting in line, literally waiting in
Some
line
of
to
them
talk to
waited
us.
like 6-7 minutes to come up and shake hands. And, you know, you got a lot of, this was the most informative panel that they've seen this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's
not start with the people who walked out and thought I had teleported to the back of the room and told Kelly, "Good job on the panel."
that's so funny. You're like, I'm still up there.
Oh yeah, that the one lady who's on, I guess, our stage left or whatever, who was asking about the audio recorders and not knowing which ones. I think that's the one who told Kelly.
Yeah.
She did a good job, and I was like, that was very sweet.
But yeah, we obviously we didn't get that Friday because we were kicked the hell out.
Oh yeah, but there were people coming up to talk to us on Friday. There's just the next panel was totally ready to drop kick us if we didn't like shoo out of the room.
But yeah, a lot of people were like, "Thank you." Like I'm gonna try it out. We did get a handful of people sign up for the Patreon.
There were people who subscribed to us from the last panel.
Yep. What I think was real nice about the two panels was they complemented each other very well.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of things in the first panel where like, come back on Sunday and we will talk about this some more.
And they came back and they're like it makes sense. Like the Friday one, they're like, oh, it seems like it's fun.
Yeah,
and then
interesting.
when you put it together with, you don't have to spend any money on it. Like,
or now that I'm interested in podcasting because I hear how it's a superpower.
Right.
How do I start? Don't worry, we got you. Here's what you need.
Like, yeah, I have the $200 camera and I got the recorder, but I'm like, you don't need it. I'm like, I just need it because I'm 2 years in. Like, I'm expanding my creativity. I have no idea what I don't know what this is going to sound like. I have no idea what that's going to look like.
Right. And once you're comfortable with it and you know you're not just doing something that you're putting down after a couple episodes, it's okay to spend a little bit more money on stuff that you find necessary or you want to like experiment with. We're just talking about, hey, when you're starting today, you don't have to really spend anything if you don't want to. You can do a whole run of a podcast and not spend a lot of money. You don't have to.
As soon as I found StreamYard for months, that's all I do. I used. Liam's like, I want to pull out the old recorder. I'm like, I don't want to use the old recorder. Just too many wires. I'm like, it's just too much setup. I'm like, there's something nice about just plugging in a microphone and going.
Yeah, the plug and go thing is really
genius.
addictive. And every time we go to a con or whatever it is, when we had to like plug in a bunch of different stuff, it feels like it takes forever.
But it does kind of look cool too, though. Like,
It makes us look a little legit. But then we also have to figure out like how to get plugs or a power bank.
We're trying to figure out where all the outlets are.
Or we're recording by a fountain.
Right. which wasn't that bad either. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think the combination of the two panels, I think, was just perfect.
Yeah, one led into the other. It was great seeing people come back.
So
seeing
many
even
people
more
were
people
like,
show up for the second panel just to hear about.
I gotta hope we see some emails soon. Not necessarily soon, like relatively.
Chats in the Patreon.
I'm gonna go in there tomorrow. I'm gonna play in the Patreon a little bit. I'm gonna put in the two. They were taking pictures of the slides, and I felt bad. I'm like, I'll just give it to you. I'm like, you can have this piece of paper.
Here's a QR code. It has all of our socials on it.
Right? So I'll put the slides on the Patreon for those 5 or 6 that signed up today.
But it's so cool seeing people, like, you know, they don't have to do that. They don't have to be interested in it. They actually want to just, like, look us up later.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love the idea of inviting them back next year. Like, we do another one and just be like, well, I mean, we'd have to modify a couple of the pages, or we'll rewrite it. Okay, put a pin in that real quick. But the idea that they get to come back and be like, hey everybody, here's a superpower. Phaedra,
I sat
a
there.
year ago.
I was sitting here.
Right.
Now I'm up here because I actually listened to the advice.
Right. Like I did it. Like they didn't like they put it they give me a perspective of like, let's just try it. Yes, we only do it, 3 months out of the year. Fantastic. Great.
Yeah.
Who's listening to it? Teachers who are also out of school.
Yeah, and people look forward to it because it's
Yeah.
like, teacher summer podcast.
And then you drop one for the winter break and the fall break, and then like a little extra bonus thing. I like the idea that hopefully we can get one or two to come back in with us next year and just be like, tell your story, man. Like a year ago, you had 0 podcasts. A year later, you're now 30 episodes in, and you're having a blast.
Right. You figured it all out between your friends.
Right.
And
then hopefully the idea of between Ben, the Transformer girl, and the other guy and this person over here, we got T-shirts, we got logos, we got similar to I think that's what was cool about the superpower was we showed we have comics, we have multiple podcasts, we have merch, and it's like I just talk to people, I get it at cost, or my sister or your sister makes it, and it's just like.
I'm like, I was going to tell them because I kind of forgot about it, but I was like, yeah, Ben's writing ads for his podcast, and Kelly was just showing them to me, and I was like, I'm rewriting them, sorry. Tell them I'm rewriting them. Because that's like my thing is I love writing,
Right.
so... And I was immediately just sitting here at the kitchen table, rewriting the ads and writing a new ad for you. Right. And I was like, this is, like, it sparked something in me that I hadn't really seen in a while of wanting to create something.
And it's just the idea of a collaboration and someone being like, hey, what do you think about this idea? And I told one person, I was walking around, he caught me in the middle of downstairs in the lobby. And he's like, hey, just wanted to thank me again. And he's like, I have a couple of ideas. I'm just still trying to figure it out. And I'm like, screw it, man. Like, structure the episode, as news, news, tech, and then the conspiracy theory. And I'm like, that's what J Charges is.
Yeah.
I'm like,
literally.
You can have 3 different topics, and then it's fun. And the fun part is you bring people in who know 2 of the 3, and they fumble their way through the third one, or you educate them on a third one.
Well, and the thing is like having, I don't know, it's kind of like the concept of like in comedy, like a straight man, which is somebody who's just, in this case would be somebody who's not knowledgeable. It's great to have a reflection of the audience sometimes. Like, they don't really understand what you're talking about, so it's almost like explaining it to the audience without making it feel patronizing.
Right.
And that person can ask questions that the audience would be thinking of and wanting to ask you.
Like I'm listening to it because that person is going to speak for the rest of us.
Right. You're like, oh, but what about this? And the person says, but what about this? And you're like, thank God, I was wondering.
Right. All right. The pen. I like the idea of writing like 2 or 3 more panels. Like, obviously we have the idea for episode 0 that we want to do in TuSCon.
So excited for episode 0.
That's gonna be such a fun panel.
Tuscan.
But like I like the idea, like, we don't have to go back next year with those exact 2, or we add a 3rd one.
Right. Like there's endless possibilities for it.
Like, I just like the idea of like, all right, like, what does the next one look like that we can take to a panel that's either like fun or informative, and just, the idea that I'm like, so like in a couple of weeks I'm like, I got another idea. Like, we have an arsenal of, we can go to a con and be like, here are the 6 panels that we have tried and true. They work. They're engaged. People like them. You can listen to them.
Yeah.
Which ones do you guys want for your con?
Yeah, which one are you guys interested in, or do you think that your patrons are going to be interested in?
Because we could easily go 2 podcasts and then 1 storytelling, books, Lord of the Rings. Like, we can, like, I like the idea that you do a Lord of the Rings panel. Like, people can show up for days in that.
Oh yeah.
I would do worse than you did with websites.
I think I did that bad.
No, I'm saying I would be horrible at anything Lord of the Rings. But yeah, so part of me is I just like the idea of just creating just new and different things. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Tucson's gonna be a lot of fun. I did see Ming Chen on the way out today. He thanked me. He gave me credit for getting him down there.
Yeah.
Because episode 100, he's like, "You're the reason I'm down here." I'm like, kind of not really, but yes, part of it. At the same time, Kevin Smith, Muse, and Jason Lee were here, so you had, like he said,
Yeah, and it's great for him to come down. It's such a great con, and he fits right in.
He does. What was fun was he congratulated us on the panels. He said Kevin Smith's looking to come back next year, so he'll probably come back next year. And I'm like, we were just talking about it. We'll do a View Askew quiz. I'm like, the quiz panels are just blowing up. Those things are huge. I mean, there's just 200 people on that thing. I said, we'll do a View Askew one. He's like, I'll jump in on that. I'm like, come on over.
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm like, the three of us had no problem like hanging out and just shooting the shit.
That would be so cool.
That'd be amazing. I would love it. And then we have to do all the homework just so we can be knowledgeable with it too. Ming Chen's a character. He's fun. He definitely a people person.
Oh yeah, like I said, he's so nice, but like in a down to earth way. Didn't feel like you're talking to like a crazy celebrity who doesn't give a crap about you.
Right, or fake.
Yeah, not fake at all. He's just like such a genuine guy.
Brian O'Halloran's like that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
I can imagine that, yeah.
Oh, he's so cool. And then so
Well, it kind of reminds me of like not as big in celebrity, but like Jay Sarge.
yeah.
What a gentle and chill and cool guy. Like he's into the whole testy thing because of his music and everything like that, but he's just so nice and so knowledgeable and fun to talk to.
Right. Yeah, because I talked to O'Halloran for a little bit, and obviously he had the like he's such a nice guy. Like the Chronicon, he had the short where he came up and telling us to go to bed because it was middle of the night.
Yeah, I remember.
So overall, like it's fantastic. I like the idea that worst case, I told Ming, I said, you come back next year. I said you have to intro us or you have to moderate a panel for us, and he said he would. So I'm like, let's do it. Like you and me sitting up there, and Ming Chen asking us some questions.
Oh my god.
Oh, it'd be so crazy.
That would be literally crazy. I think like it was kind of weird. There wasn't a lot of engagement or like not interest on the first panel when we brought up Ming Chen and everybody and Brian Johnson and stuff like that. But this time people seemed really impressed. They're like, "Oh, you're talking to Brian Johnson?
Right?
Like that's crazy."
Well, they're not like I don't mean I like it's Tell 'em Steve Dave's second because of my comic book man and then but yeah, today they're like, whoa,
like, oh, that's so cool.
You should have been here Friday. Yeah, it was so much fun. And then after the panel, we walked and we did the rest of the
merch floor.
The merch floor. We hit all of it. All 450 vendors.
Yep, and I only ended up buying one thing for myself, so I think that's a personal win.
There's a lot of fun. Now, what's the one thing that I always wonder is because they offered me a table. Well, I asked for a table. I'm like, well, what would a table be like if I wanted to sit down and talk to people walk by? And he's like, we'll call it $4,000. I'm like, I'm like, I can't sell $4,000 worth of anything.
Yeah,
right
to $4,000, and at that point you're breaking even.
Right? I'm like, I can't sell 4,000 little wooden tokens.
Which, good for you, David Allen Gordon.
Right? But yeah, you look at some of these. There's so much stuff, and it's like,
who? This is my real question. Why the hell was America Furniture Warehouse there? Whose fandom is that?
Oh, they probably got to deal with the convention center.
But like somebody gonna want to shop for furniture, or just this one couch in particular?
In the very back, in the corner, next to like nowhere.
And honestly, huge fan, by the way. That's where we got our furniture. I don't know if I wanted to buy something from them at Fan Fusion.
I thought about doing a table down there somewhere next to an outlet, an internet source. I would love to live stream for like 6 hours on the floor. Like not even in the vendor area. Put me in the lobby somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna talk to AJ sometime next week. He was super busy. Like I tried to get
Oh,
hold.
I can imagine.
Oh my gosh, day 2 on Saturday. So many people were there. It was disgusting. Escalators went down. So like it was a mess. It was a crazy mess. So I can only imagine he's like losing his mind and he's just gonna disappear for a week. But like next year, the idea I'm just floated out and be like, is there a spot that I could technically podcast, like
Yeah.
live stream?
Literally, just not let's say a table, but like a corner, a place, a
Right? Let me
set of chairs.
let me set up a sign. Let me do the panel, and then be like, hey, come down, and uh, like, we'll even create like a schedule to be like, we do the panel at 1. We'll be back here by 2:30, and then from 2:30 to 3:30, come down and record episode 0.
Yeah,
And
literally.
then like as people walk by, cosplaying. Like I don't know. I just like the idea of like just live streaming.
It'd be nice, just like you, come sit down real
Right.
quick. Let's do 10 minutes of your first podcast.
Yes.
What's it about? Okay, it's about this. Okay, well, what's your take?
Right.
Tell us what's episode 1.
I would absolutely. I think it would be fun. Part of the reason why they like Ming Chen is because he has that social media presence. We don't have that kind of presence, but I'm hoping to take the 30 hours of recording that we have and make a bunch of shorts. I'm going to put out the 2 panels in the video aspect of those. So it will be interesting. Hopefully, if I don't talk to AJ for a week, hopefully I can, between now and the rest of the week, I can put enough stuff out there where he notices and sees it, sees the value in Chasing the Whimsy, and then maybe we can work out some kind of I don't know necessarily what kind of arrangement, but see if he has any suggestions on giving us either more flexibility, more reach, or giving us a kind of a weird oddball type role somewhere there.
Yeah.
I think would be cool. Worst case, like let me behind the scenes somewhere. Like give me an hour or 2. Let me walk around the back, say hi to some of the celebrities, without all their handlers, and just chat. Like give me like 2 minutes. Like allow me 2 minutes with like Vincent D'Onofrio. I'll be like, hey man, how you like
Vincent D'Onofrio was at the con.
Vincent D'Onofrio was at the con. That is such a funny ongoing joke that no one's gonna forget.
Yeah. The only better thing would be if Kelly said it just now.
Overall, what are your impressions of you went 2 days, 2 half days?
Yeah, 2 half days on the slow days, so Friday and Sunday. But everything looked amazing. I mean, I usually go to more panels, but given that we had a panel,
Right.
it felt more locked down and I just wanted to be in the area. It was really fun though. Great costumes, a lot of people were just so nice to us.
Yeah.
Like I kept running into people at booths and stuff like that and talking to them. Everybody was so sweet. The merch was good. The food was good.
Food was good.
Everything's
Despite
always
being $18.
honestly. I've been to Fan Fusion a couple times now. Probably more without you guys than with, but it's always a great event.
Yeah.
It's such a good con. It's not the hugest con ever, but the effort that everybody puts into it, you could see it.
Right.
And it always comes up with good panels, interesting celebrities.
Right.
Sometimes Vincent D'Onofrio, I heard. I'm not sure if I heard that correctly, but maybe.
Maybe. I think he was there. It's such a fun, it's only growing. Like, what do we do next year when they're like, we got to beat 70,000, we're going to go for 90? I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't, like,
If we get 100 people in the podcasting panel.
Anybody listening to this who was in the panels, please comment.
And thank you so much for
Yes.
coming to see us. We were like literally giddy with excitement and so happy that people came.
I'm
and
handing
were
out
enjoying
postcards.
it.
I'm like, hey, don't go anywhere.
We felt like the celebrities at that point.
Everybody was super nice, very receptive. I love the idea that we go back next year, like as a pro now. Like we went this year as like a guest, and now we go back again next year.
Oh, and
like,
if you do start like your own podcast because of us or just whatever, contact us on socials and be like, yo, Chasing the Whimsy. Just so you know, this is my podcast. I did it. I started it. We would love to follow you back.
I'd love to have you on. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned this enough, but if anyone wanted to just be a guest on Chasing the Whimsy, we're totally cool with that too. We love guests.
Right?
We love it.
You've never done a Zoom call episode with us? Be amazing. It'll be the first for everybody. I would love to hear what time is it podcast the one gentleman had. I would love to hear the movie review guy.
Yeah, and people were so worried about, oh, it's got to be the most unique thing. I'm like, no, you're the unique thing. Your personality and your thoughts on things are the unique thing.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, oh, we say our opinions and for every bad opinion we throw a dart at each other or something. It
Right?
just
You get the conversation
your
going.
unique aspect. You.
The unique will be 6 minutes in when you say something and I totally agree, or we have a nice healthy discussion about
like
something.
I listen to a lot of true crime.
Yeah.
All the time. Literally dozens of channels of true crime podcasts, YouTube, whatever the fuck it is. But cut that part out. No. It's the same content,
Yeah.
right? It's the same crime. And they're all they're doing is describing the crime. That's all they're doing is they're describing the crime. But I love all of them.
Yes.
And they all have something different, but it's just the way that person explains it.
On YouTube, I will watch like there's 4 different disturbing media or videos or something, and one puts one out, and the next month someone does one of the same stories. I'm like, I've heard this story.
But you still listen to it.
I will still listen to it because
What if there's another aspect you don't understand, or somebody has another take on it that you don't get?
like one person like Nick Crowley breaks the story on one, and someone picks it up a month later and has more information to add to it a little bit, or it views it from a different angle. Like I'll take all of those. And one of the gentlemen mentioned movie reviews. I said, hey, people will eventually find you. I listened to like 4 normal creepypasta like podcasts. Once I listen to those all week, I need to find something else. And it's
You
like,
run out of content.
right.
One person can't keep up with your need for content.
Right. So I'm like, give it a second. You keep putting it out there. Let me burn through all of my Nick Crowley stuff. And then when you pop up next, I'm going to subscribe to you because you're filling the hole that Nick Crowley couldn't fill.
Yeah.
And
Literally. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can be totally into one person's content and another's and another's and another's.
So it was an absolute awesome weekend. I don't know if I would do an all day Saturday again. Good Lord, that was a long day.
Yeah. I really like Saturdays. I'm sad I didn't go, but
Good Lord, it's a long day. I would definitely do it again. I will probably still do the whole day Saturday thing again. Just because I got it's the return on investment aspect, the idea of just meeting new people. Like there's so many fun artists that I met and I ran into. There's the puppet lady, Jasmine. She was awesome. A bunch of different artists. I'm like, you come on mine, I'll come on yours, and and I couldn't have done that if I took a Saturday off. So I just have to reach out to like 6 new artists, and they come on and hang out with me for the next half hour. And then
it feels tiring, but it's always worth it. I feel like
and it's like we said in the podcast, like you have to try and do something, and then so I gotta take my own advice. Like I can't sit back and go lazy on a Saturday. Get out there and just meet people, because that's my favorite part about the podcast.
Yeah, it's like a do or don't situation. You have to kind of train yourself to do.
Right.
Like you said, you could be doom scrolling on your phone,
Right.
and the whole time you're scrolling, you're thinking, I could be trying something new right now. Then just try something new. At some point, you have to just do it.
Oh, I should have told him I have a doom scroll. I attempted to do a doom scroll live stream. Oh, good lord. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But
Yeah, not everything
right.
that's been tried on Whimsy has worked, but it's still fun and it's worth the experience.
Right. So, absolutely an awesome weekend.
So good. And so much better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be bad, but
I thought the panels were going to go good. I didn't expect them to be fucking great.
right, that's what I mean. Like
Right.
I was like, yeah, we're gonna nail it. We got this. Da, da, da. But honestly, it was the people who made the panel great.
Right. Like,
It was always the audience who made it great.
because like part of me, because we had that like, what if nobody says anything, and the fact that like the fun part today was when we test ran it. It ran 45 minutes. So we're like, all right, we have 15 minutes we can fill.
Yeah.
Somewhere on the back end. Dude, this thing ran all the way up to like 2 minutes late.
Kelly was literally telling me we're out of time. She was out there making an X, and I'm like, oh my god, 5 minutes passed. I didn't realize that we were the only person in that room for the next forever.
But anybody who was at the panels or anybody who's listening to this, you just have to just start somewhere and 100% reach out. We'll be one of your first guests. Like we'll help ease you into this new journey.
Say we will easily talk about anything or be schooled about anything.
Right? I might not know everything, but I'll jump on there. Let's figure it out. You can tell me, you can educate me about whatever it is you want. Like, it's just the idea of just like getting new people. And if you're like, like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Hey, the fact that you started recording, you did it right.
Yeah, and nobody knows if they're doing anything right. There is no right.
We have CarCast, we have Sad Dad episodes, like we have episodes where we're just reading lists of names.
The list of names was crazy. Hey, guys, if there's one thing to not do, it's just read lists of names.
Dude. And then I can barely read anyway, so I don't know anybody's. Oh my god, it was. Like, I can't. Like.
I'm trying to imagine you trying to read a list.
Like, my favorite thing is, I know what my lowest episode is, and I'm like, as long as I record and it's better than listing names for 45 minutes.
And it always is.
Oh my god. I will never have it. Like, that's my favorite part. No matter what happens, I will never have an episode that bad. Like, I would have to do some like ungodly things for it to be that bad.
Here's the paint drying podcast.
Right? Even the sleep stream episode would have been better than me listing off 45 minutes of names. So we do have one more con in November. We're gonna go back to TusCon. That one, I think we're just gonna destroy that one. We're gonna
I'm
have such a good
so
one.
excited for TusCon. I love the people there. I love the engagement we get there.
That one's gonna be so much fun. There is technically a Tucson Comic Con in September. I don't think
David Allen Gordon will be there.
he will be there. I would almost consider going down there for a day. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna pull the dates and we're gonna look at it and see what the attendance looks like down there.
Yeah, because, I mean, realistically, we could drive down and drive back up the same day.
That would suck. Or we just overnight it.
Suck.
Right? Or we just like overnight it and just like after work or like midday Saturday and then hang out all day Sunday. Who knows? I don't know. Would you want to do more cons going into maybe not? So this year's already planned. We got Chronicon in October. We got Tucson in November. 2026. Do we attempt to try and hit like an extra third, fourth con.
I mean, that'd be super cool. I don't know what cons it would be, if it would be Tucson Comic Con or
Or like Toy Con. Game On was supposed to be a really good one. I I don't play that many video games, but supposedly there's a bunch of, I don't know.
yeah, there's more small cons out there than you would think.
Or we start doing craft fairs. I would love to go to do a craft fair, man. Talk to some people and be like, make me some gnomes.
Crafty people are usually the most interesting people.
All right.
Like people who are creative.
I think 2026. I think we'll baby step it. We'll find an extra small one or two events just to dip our toes in different, you know, different cons or different events. But this weekend, man, like I'm all for going to another con again.
It was so much fun. It was more fun than I thought it was going to be.
You guys will hear the podcast on a budget episode right after this one. So this one releases, and then this one will be right afterwards. So this is 117B, and then right after that, there's an hour and 1 minute for podcasting on a budget 117C. So a lot of stuff to watch or to listen to this week, but it's all worth it. Like there's so much stuff that we're putting out. We got the live stream on Monday, so I'll play some raw footage from that and I'll cut it up and figure out what to do with it. But yeah, it's totally worth it. I'm absolutely, one of the things I said is of all the money for marketing and everything else, the con was the best investment.
Oh, for sure.
Like we had the most fun, we had the most engagement.
Boots on the ground is the best way for marketing too.
We got between 5 and 8 Patreon subscribers right now, which is way more than anybody else has ever offered me for any other promotion they've given me.
Oh,
so
certainly.
Absolutely. Like, it was a good time. That's all I got. We're at 117.
Whimsy.